Welcome WCC fans to Inside the WCC March Madness Edition. With us today is University of Portland women's basketball head coach Jim Sollars. Welcome, Coach Sollars.
Thank you. Sorry about coughing. I've had a cold for 2 weeks.
You guys are enjoying a fantastic season this season and are back in the postseason for the first time since 1999. Obviously, this Thursday's WNIT matchup with Portland State is a postseason game, but does that change the way you approach and prepare for the game?
Well, to some degree it does. Interestingly enough, it makes it a little bit more hectic because kids are involved in classes. We don't really feel comfortable taking them out of classes for an extended period of time for shoot-arounds, practices, and that kind of thing as we would on a normal road trip, since it's only a 20-minute drive down the freeway. And so it's a little bit more hectic, but I think, they beat us earlier in the year at their place. The second time we're playing there this year, and I think we're a better team. I know they are, but hopefully we've made more progress since we played them last.
Okay. The Pilots, obviously you guys finished second in the WCC regular season standings. You guys were picked to finish 7th in the preseason coaches poll. At the beginning of the season, did you think this group could be a postseason team? And did you guys finish where you thought maybe you guys would?
I knew we were better than 7th. I wasn't sure that we could be in first or second, to be honest with you. And I think in the preseason poll, I think I actually put us 4th. And I thought we could be in that top group of 4. I was a little surprised that we ended up doing as well as we did on the road. We were 6-1 on the road, and I would never have dreamed we had had that kind of record. But it was a more experienced group. We didn't lose a great deal from last year's team. Rachel Warren was our second leading scorer, but still, you lose one of your leading scorers, and we replaced her with a sophomore, Lauren Angel, who's done a credible job, no question about that. So I knew we were better than 7th. I didn't know if we'd be in that top group. I am a little surprised we're that good. Although I will say this, I thought we should have, could have, might have won a couple of non-conference games that we let slip away. I'm very, very pleased with our conference record.
You were named WCC Coach of the Year for an unprecedented 5th time. Can you talk about how much it means to be recognized by your peers with this award?
Oh, I think my peers are smart enough to know that I'm really no smarter than I was 3 or 4 years ago when we were getting thumped by everyone. You just get lucky when you get players that have the maturity and the skill and they're nice people and get along well. I'm not sure that's coaching or just a matter of having a little luck, a little, patience and whatever. So I'm pleased to get it, no question about that. And as I said before, I think you can look at it any number of ways. Kelly Graves has done such a tremendous job at Gonzaga building a minor dynasty, and he could legitimately be Coach of the Year every year practically. And you look at the opposite end, Jennifer Mountain, who's the first-year coach at Santa Clara, her team worked hard. They lost a ton of games by close scores, and they still kept playing hard and ended up winning a game in the tournament. So, Coaching of the Year awards are nice, but they don't always, they reflect a perspective as much as anything else, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like you had mentioned, you guys are facing a familiar opponent in Portland State on Thursday. Can you talk about maybe what some of the things that your team learned from that first game and how that will help you prepare for Thursday's game?
Well, we know they're a good team, and we knew they were a good team going into that game. Lauren Angel didn't play because of a concussion, and Jessica Clemens wasn't off the volleyball team yet, so we were a little short-handed, and they really exploited that. Got us in a little foul trouble at the post, and so we were actually having a guard play a post for a good share of it. So we think if we're at full strength, we got a great shot at them.
Okay. This being the first trip to the postseason for the players on the team, what is the attitude and mentality of the team going into this Thursday's game?
Well, I certainly hope they want to prolong the season as long as possible. The coaching staff certainly does. And I hope that's the only way they look at it, is we just want to play as hard as we possibly can because it could be our last game for 5 of our seniors. Every game is a potential last game. We don't want it to end yet.
And who on your team has been playing well recently, and who should we look to step up in the game against Portland State on Thursday?
Well, Lakin Delente has been incredibly consistent for us offensively. height advantage, size advantage inside, and we just have to take the ball to them a little bit more than we did last time.
Well, thank you, Coach Sollars, for joining us today, and obviously good luck to the Pilots against Portland State on Thursday.
Okay, thank you very much for calling, Jay.
That does it for this edition of Inside the WCC. WCC fans, log on to WCCSports.com for your latest news, videos, podcasts, and exclusive merchandise.